guitarist. I hope you're doing well. It's been a long time, and I was dealing with some health issues, but I am doing 100% better now. So good to be back again. Let's see, that first solo I played was from Bottoms Up on Van Halen 2. And Van Halen 2, gosh, I remember buying that album when I was 17, a long time ago. So, and on the cover of that album, you had a picture of the black and yellow guitar, affectionately known as the Bumblebee. And interesting thing is, you know, of course, when I had the album, I said, oh, what a cool guitar. You know, and I'm a 17-year-old kid who didn't know any better. So, but from what I understand, I don't think Edward did, even though he toured, he got the guitar in '79 and he toured with it, but he did not record the guitar. I don't think the guitar is actually recorded on any albums. So anyway, it was, let's see, certainly stick around because I'm going to play the second solo to Bottoms Up at the end of the video. The subject of this video is, can the EVH Bumblebee be more authentic? And we're starting right now. So Van Halen 2 was actually the first album I bought, like I said, when I was 17. And of course there you see the Bumblebee is just pictured all over. All the pictures had the Bumblebee. And that's where we saw it first. So me being, like I said, the kid that didn't know any better, you know, I was thinking, oh, cool, that's him playing the actual guitar that's on the album. So, but that wasn't the case. So I quickly fell in love with that guitar. And I said, oh man, that is so cool. And this is before I thought about even thinking about even owning anything like it. But, you know, like, had all these classic pictures of Van Halen. It really was pretty awesome. That the album was just great. Like I said, it's just, you know, it was different sounding than their first Van Halen album, probably because of the amount of reverb that it was mixed with in Van Halen 1. But anyway, I just thought, I instantly fell in love with the whole album. Every song is great on it. And that's where we first saw the Bumblebee. So you have to check out Carl Sandoval. This is like the first picture of the Bumblebee guitar. And he says he worked for Wayne Charvel, and he said that he was instrumental in working with Edward on this guitar. You can see this is like the very first, I think this is like the first picture of it. And he goes on, I would say check him out. He's got a YouTube page, and he talks about it in pretty great detail. So I don't see any motivation for him to, you know, kid about it. I think he was pretty honest about how it came together, and it gives you all the whole backstory of Edward using the guitar and so on and so forth. Yeah, but this is like the earliest known picture of the Bumblebee guitar. So looking at these side by side with the EVH to the left and the authentic on the right, I mean, little things just jump out at you. Like the lines over here just don't quite meet up. Like, for example, this line right here kind of goes off on the authentic, kind of goes off into the side. So, you know, it's little things like this thickness of this line right here above this line here. There's a little more distance between this line, and this line seems a little thinner over here on the authentic. So little things like this right, taped up, angled down, this design here on the EVH seems to be going here and actually touches this other line and smaller line. You know, it's just, you know, if you're okay with it, yeah, grab an EVH. They're decent guitars. you know, you probably won't end up spending more than $700, $800 on reverb for the EVH. And if you're happy with that, you know, then that's fine. But if you want something that's a little more authentic, it seems like this would be very hard to reproduce on the EVH. But there's, like, you know, like I said, there's little things, you know, the volume knob or tone knob, it seems to be off a little more. You know, it's almost like this line here is splitting it. So little things like that. You know, you can see closely, you know, I bought this guitar because it had I think they had the right idea. They went with the cream to look closer to the authentic. But to me, the authentic looks white here. Also, you do have the issue of the non-fine tuner bridge. And this was the early beginning stage of the Floyd Rose before the fine tuners. So it almost had that raw metal look. Interesting to find out that you can, if you scuff up the German style Floyd Rose, the non-fine tuner Floyd Rose, you could probably, I think you can actually refinish, like maybe using a gunmetal gray to kind of give you more of that look. That would be an easy thing to reproduce. But, you know, other things too, you know, you got this line here. This line seems to be going down a little bit more as opposed to this line. You know, and if you really don't care, you know, if you're not being nitpicky about it, doesn't bother you, and so, you know, buying these for $700, $800 is not a bad idea. They're decent guitars. However, if you want something that looks more authentic, to me, it makes more sense. You're gonna have to probably build one from scratch. Now, looking at the back, man, the back is just totally different. I don't know, maybe it's something like a copyright thing, but I don't understand. I mean, yeah, wouldn't you? I mean, these are coming from Fender EVH, so there wouldn't be a copyright conflict with themselves. Or maybe you guys know, maybe there's something about that, but you can see the back is just totally different. You know, you got all kinds of differences here. You know, you don't see these lines over here. You got this little cross pattern right here. You also have this line here, but it actually stops over here. So you can see it's just totally different on the back. You know, it's almost like, we don't care. We'll just get these out and people will buy them. So anyway, and then, you know, you've got guys like us that are real sticklers for authenticity and all that sort of thing. So, you know, like this line ends here as opposed to going more up into the control cavity. So it's totally different. You know, like you have this line here. That's a big thick line there. This line doesn't even exist over here on the authentic. So back is just totally different. So what it looks like, guys, is it doesn't look like you could change your EVH Bumblebee to really to do the same thing that I did with the Frankenstein. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. Well, I guess the frustrating thing is that since there was so much character to the Frankenstein, it was easier to manipulate the paint because so much of it was banged up and scratched up and everything. Versus the Bumblebee, which has a really incredible pristine finish. Looking online, you know, if you're totally okay and you're not really interested in getting something authentic, you know, you can find the Bumblebee, EVH Bumblebee, anywhere priced from $700 on up to $1,000, right? And that's perfectly okay if you're happy with that. You will see every now and then, you'll see unbranded, where you'll have builders actually put something out there and, You know, this guy's charging $1,000, but you don't know what kind of parts you're getting. I mean, here's one that's a Charvel. It's a little bit better. Yeah, you can go that route. There's nothing wrong if you're not really into doing that, and then that's totally fine. So yes, if you're one of these guys, I believe the initial price tag was something like $24,000. They only made 50 of these, but here's one that's going for $79,000. Then there's another one here for $55,000. So what if we tried to build this ourselves and had it painted, or had somebody paint it for us, or what are the costs doing that? I think I looked at a pretty good solution here. Let's dive in. So here's a company called Lock Guitars, or Lock Custom Guitars. They have products, and if you specifically go to, you can get like the Frankenstein kind of build. If you go to bodies here, they have a series called, I believe it's called the Yellow Jacket. Let's see, yep, Yellow Jacket. This is the body that you want to get if you want it. It's built to the same specs as the authentic Bumblebee guitar. They also have a matching neck that goes with that as well. And I believe the body is $200. You have the matching neck, which is a Yellow Jacket neck. So that's going for $295. So you're looking at $500 there. Let's see, if you're thinking about the hardware, I'm thinking of going with a Floyd Rose, the older style Floyd Rose tremolo, and looking at the bridge here, because I don't think you can find a company that will actually do the bridge. Come on. Let's see, let's go to this. So right here, here's the bridge. It looks, that's the earliest Floyd Rose, and they didn't even have a chance to chrome it yet. It's like the raw metal. So the interesting thing, I was reading something to the fact that if I needed to reproduce this type of bridge, you can actually scuff up the existing chrome and maybe go back in with the, I forgot what, and do some research, because you can probably shoot it with a type of gunmetal gray or something like that to at least get kind of a match for that bridge. There are guys, there's actually a group called the Van Halen Bumblebee Guitar Replicas, and it's a Facebook group that you can join, and that's the whole subject. I see guys trading off or selling their Bumblebees. I see guys posting some of their work on here, and it seems to be pretty helpful, even though I'm still waiting for them to let me in. But anyway, it's available there. I did send Kip an email, because I don't have the facility to paint something like this. But this guy, he works completely in nitro. I've just talked to him through email, and he seemed, told him what I wanted to do, and he seemed to be, you know, ready to do business with me. So anyway, he works totally in nitro, which is nitrocellulose is what's preferred. But anyway, I'm kind of excited about that. I think I may go ahead and order the parts from Lock, and then get the body over to Star Guitars. So looking at Star Guitars, of course we don't have to do anything with the neck, but you figure the body is going to be $299. I don't know what edition until I actually talk to him, but I imagine it's probably a couple $100 more, because I'm thinking like, well, do I take care of the striping after you do the initial yellow coating? Anyway, I'll figure that out, but I figured, you know, it's probably another $500. So the amount of money that you're paying to get a authentically looking Bumblebee guitar will probably be about the same that you're going to be paying for one of the EVH Bumblebees. So I think you end up getting something that's much closer to the original, which I think is what we're going for. I've seen a couple tutorials on how to build the guitar, but this guy here is very thorough. He's got a whole, like, maybe, I think like a 6-7 part, filming on how he taped up the Bumblebee, the paints he used. He takes you through the whole thing and shows you how to paint this thing. If you're this Bumblebee guitar, if you're totally into doing this all yourself, but if you go to the final video, his final work was just really amazing. I mean, he shot clear coats and really a pretty professional job. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it's helpful. If you've actually done this project, then certainly leave a comment and leave photos if you want. But anyway, I hope this helps. You know the whole deal, clicking like and subscribe and all that stuff. And I hope to talk to you real soon. Have a good one.